Hey guys, welcome back and welcome if you're new. Today I want to show you huge improvement of Volar Sport brakes. I cannot say quality, but just it's like upgrade, because this brakes is awesome from the beginning. Only weak point it was bicycle rotors. So what I mean when I'm saying weak point, it's rotors itself was smaller than actually brake pad. So as you can see, if I gonna put a brake pad here, you see the working surface is smaller than brake pad. So it means brake pad would wear faster a little bit and less efficient braking, and just like this. So new upgrade, as you can see, the rotor itself is 27 millimeters working surface, and if we can gonna compare to the stock brakes brake pads, it's gonna be like, it looks just funny, and you can see this size difference, and you can imagine this efficiency of these brakes. Also the problem with rear brakes was distance between rivet and this edge too short, and in that case you can probably see the wear mark. So it's brake caliper need to be installed a little bit higher, because if not, it's touching rivets. So in that case it means the distance here, so how to explain this, so the distance between bottom and top, so the brake pad should sit like just like this, like even higher, so you cannot put lower to make it kind of like this. It's probably gonna be visible good from this side. So the brake pad was like higher, because if not, it was rivet was touching the caliper. So now this problem is solved. So how it's solved? The rear disc, actually the rear rotor, actually not 220 millimeters, it's 228, I believe. 28, yeah, like seller told me it's 228. So if we're gonna compare to the stock one, you can see here the edge is flat, and here is, you see how bigger is that rotor. So it means I still gonna use that spacers, but now the rotor is gonna be higher, and it's gonna be like full working surface. It's exactly how it's supposed to work. So I'm gonna install it now, and we're gonna see. Oh yeah, it's not everything. Also, old rotor thickness, it was 2.3 millimeters, and new rotors it's 3 millimeters. So you can see difference. I hope you can see. I'm gonna try to put like hand like this. You can see difference. That's the stock one, 2.3 and 3 millimeters. It's new one, new rotor. So it is actually gonna be huge improvement on everything, on heat, on braking power, on modulation, on how long the brakes gonna last, and all this stuff. So let's disassemble these things, and when I'm gonna disassemble, I also gonna compare new rotors to the old one, and we will see what's going on with brake pads, because this brake pads has already almost a little bit more than 300 kilometers on it, and I was using this on sand, on dirt a few times, and it's like probably you can hear it's a little bit rubbing, because it was a lot of sand yesterday, and I washed a little bit bike, but it's still, as you can see there, like a lot of dirt. So yeah, it was everything muddy, and of course some dirt going between pads and rotors, and I just want to see how these pads is actually handling all this dirt and sand, because for now, at least for braking power, I'm very impressed with this Volar Sport brand. Okay, I will be on when wheel's gonna be removed. Okay guys, here's the front wheel. So here's the installed new one rotor and the old one rotor. Old one rotor looks kind of like bigger, at least I don't know if it's gonna be seen on the camera or not, because the edge is thinner and this part is wider, this is not, and that's why it looks different, but that's exactly the same size for front rotor. Front brake pads, what I want to show you, because of course like main brake is the front brake, and as you can see the old brake pads, they have some scratches, because like I said, that's probably from dirt, when some stones, when some sand going under brake pad, and we probably can see some scratches here on brake rotor, from here and a little bit here. Actually no, from this side it's almost nothing, just here, yeah, just you can see a line, and this line kind of good visible. Anyway, what I want to show you, this brake pads, that's the new one, that's the old one. So as you can see, even this channel, I don't know how you call this in English, but in my language you call it like heat disappear channel or like something like this. So in case something wet under pad or something like this, when the huge pad, huge size, and everything without channels like this, you can catch some kind of steam between pad and rotor if it's wet, and you're gonna lose your brakes, kind of like this. I don't know how to explain this in English, sorry guys. You can Google it. Anyway, so the size of this brake pad is 4 millimeters, I believe. I would show you like this. 4.2. That's for new one. And old one is exactly 4. Not even exactly 4. 4.1. So let's say 300 kilometers on brakes, and only 0.1 millimeter is wear. And it's not just because the parts is very like how you call this, like hard, like ceramic or metallic, I don't know what is material of, but that's brakes very good, and as you can see it's not that fast wearing. So I would put anyway like brand new, because I don't know, maybe some stones there inside the brakes and something inside the brake pads. So I will save these brake pads as spare one, and I'm gonna install new one, so I'm not gonna have scratches on my brakes right away. But I'm just really impressed. We're gonna see what's going on the back when it's gonna be removed, and I will show you again. Okay guys, rear rotor on the wheel now, and I just want to show you the difference between these two rotors. You see, that's actually huge difference, and it's huge improvement. And as you can see, its size is also different. So 220 millimeters instead of opposite, 228 millimeters on the wheel instead of 220 on my hands. And rear brake pads, as you can see, the rear brake pads is also still in a usable condition, but because the not full brake pad was working on that disc, on that rotor, you can see that wear mark. You see, you can see how the rotor was working on that brake pad, just like this. And you actually can see now what does it mean when the rotor is not proper size. But again, like I'm saying, the Volar Sport is very good in communication, and you have any questions, they will answer everything, and if there's some issue they will do some improvement, like example with this brake rotors. So that's very good sign when the manufacturing actually listening reviews and feedbacks from the users. Anyway, this was very often with huge amount of dirt on top of the caliper, and you can even when I was riding, like I could hear it, like this scratching noise and all this stuff. So I'm not surprised this wears a lot more than the front one, but it is what it is. I'm not baby carrying this, or babying, or how you call this in English, bike. So I'm not assaulting my bike, but I'm also not just the guy who is not using it as it should. Okay, I'm gonna install wheel now, and you're gonna see how it looks assembled. And here's guys result. So as you can see, I just like marked with Sharpie. I just mark, like I just like put like line through the braking surface, and now you can see where is brake pads actually attached during braking, and how much actually like working surface here. That's the back, right? And this is the front. Same thing. I just like put like mark there and mark on top. Just yeah. So as you can see, working surface is just amazing compared to the previous one. And braking power now increased. I don't know, maybe I just feel like this, but honestly, the stopping power and comfort from the using these brakes much increased. And also it's like less heat. These brakes actually like how do you call this, handle the heat much better. These rotors handle the heat much better because they thicker and they wider. And yeah, usually when I get home I cannot even touch them, but now yeah, they hot, but they not that hot, so I still can touch, no problem. Okay, thank you for watching. Be safe everyone.